Wow! Welcome back to the
Whoa.
sewers.
We're here.
Yep! We're back with RPG horror stories.
Back with more Reddit cringe.
Exactly. So, how about I go first? Because I've got one that's pretty interesting and somewhat applicable to a situation in our campaign.
Alright. Besides, I went first last time, I think.
Yeah. This is called Metagaming Lore. It was posted yesterday, and it's got 619 votes already, which is
Damn.
really good for this subreddit.
Yeah, considering a decent amount of the stuff that we've read have been out for like a week and barely
Double digits.
break 300.
Barely even breaks 100.
Sometimes we get ones that are like 200.
That's fair. Anywho, it was posted yesterday. It's by Diask the Meganium. No.
Org.
So, apologies for my English. This story was about a cleric who made my brain glow in anger, generating a new dimension. Off to a great start. To keep it simple, I was playing a monk, and it was boring. I felt so weak compared to the parties, so I told my DM, hey, I'm probably going to change my character, I'm bored. And we agreed, so my DM gave me a standard sacrifice so my character can get out with a good ending, which is what I wanted. We agreed and all. We also gave hints to the other players, and clearly people accepted it. Except not. The cleric proceeds to revive my character, and then I try to say my character is not willing. He keeps saying, that's metagaming, your character wouldn't want that. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of feedback in your chat. That's metagaming, your character wouldn't want that. This went on for several minutes, almost an hour, until the DM just stomped in fists and says no to the cleric, which proceeds on the cleric going on a rant about how what about our character's feelings? I would get consequences if I failed to revive her. I straight up said, if you revive my character, I will kill her until I can't revive her anymore. Because he said things in such a rude way, I was getting angry. We proceeded to stop the session for now. The next day, I decided to discuss my plans for the next character I wanted to play. A wizard using fantastical objects to cast spells.
Please,
materializing them.
And wizard.
Yeah. Okay, if I want it, this one has a lot of typos. Every time they spelled witch, it was spelled wrong. They put spaces before commas instead of after.
Oh well.
Yeah. Okay.
It does says apologies for my English.
I know, that's why I'm not being too harsh on it.
Made my brain glow in anger, generating a new dimension.
Yeah. So because they apologized in advance, I'm not like I'm not being harsh like I normally would.
Yes, but also, and wizard is pretty funny.
That is. Okay, that's fair. I wanted to play Unwizard, using fantastical objects to cast spells, materializing them. I wanted to play this character for a while because I like witches. However, this was quote-unquote metagaming by the cleric because if you could use objects, you just keep selling them forever. Or, and quote, my character's divine, you would kill yours because yours is being demonic, or something. Even to... my character, even though my character was not at all demonic, and why the fuck would I sell objects if just reflavoring? If it's just reflavoring, or my character is attached to them, not counting they are objects made out of magical energy, so it's not like she could sell them. Besides, I would have still worked with the party and all. The DM,
anyway, like,
yeah,
as is stated. With literally any spell, any like low-level spell that conjures shit,
it
vanishes
fairly quickly.
I mean, are they is this cleric gonna be bitchy about someone using prestidigitation to summon a small rock to throw at someone?
Or an egg?
Because you can do that.
You
You can
can.
just spawn egg after egg and pelt them, and they vanish right before they hit them.
Or they vanish right after hitting them, leading to a lot of confusion.
It's like, did you just throw an egg at me?
What? No. Do you see any egg? It's like, yes, right. What? What? Ew. So the DM, however, allowed my character, and along with the other PCs, making the cleric even more angry. With the paladin even saying, "Cleric, if you attack the PC for no reason, I will protect her." Besides, the DM said no PvP allowed. The cleric's response was, "Metagaming, as a divine warrior, you should support me. Also, no PvP is metagaming. My character doesn't know about this rule." And the warlock said, "Well, I'm a warlock, and my character will attack you, and that's not metagaming." He was a fey warlock, not demonic, but it was still funny. This went on for another hour, where we asked the DM to just kick the cleric, because clearly... what else were we supposed to do? The cleric said, "That's metagaming. You can't just do that. My character has no reason to leave the party." And with that, the cleric was kicked for good. Not after sending me a barrage of texts insulting my drawing skills. I draw my characters usually. And saying that I should be ashamed for breaking the rules. I blocked him immediately.
Jeez, it's like... Does he know of any other way to say that he doesn't like something?
Yeah, like, it's not metagaming just because you like it. And also, there's plenty of reasons for a cleric to leave the group. Maybe they find a calling, like maybe they come across a town with a temple to their deity that's been in ruins, and they spend the rest of their time, like they feel it's their divine purpose to rebuild it and make a following. Like, that's a good way to get a cleric out of the party.
Yeah, and also just like...
Or just killing the cleric off.
Yeah, but also just like... Just saying, "No, my character doesn't want to come back. That's metagaming. How do you know?" It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean how do I know? I'm him!
It's the one time the phrase, "it's what my character would do," is valid.
Yeah.
Like, it's my character. I say my character doesn't want to come back. You don't know what my character's beliefs are. Maybe they found Zen in the afterlife. Because they are a monk.
Yeah, it's like, fucking, you don't know. It's like, oh, my kobold died, and now he's in kobold heaven, where he gets to fucking eat rocks all day, every day, forever, and they're delicious. And he's like, I don't want to leave this. This is cool as hell.
Yeah, or maybe the monk is like a specific type of monk where, like, as soon as they die, they get reborn into a new body and can't be resurrected. Who knows?
Yeah. It's like, sorry, dude, that soul ain't free.
Yeah. That soul's already been scrubbed.
That man has been this man has been fucking reincarnated as a fly because he wasn't super great.
Or he's been reincarnated into a frog because he was super great. I like
the gods
frogs.
have punished him for being a shithead by turning him into a little fly.
Yeah. Anywho.
Don't worry, he'll get to turn into a dog at some point.
In his next life, he doesn't do anything terrible as a fly. No, he actually, as a fly, he causes an entire village to burn down, like by distracting a blacksmith so much that he doesn't make the nails or he doesn't make the horseshoe for like a knight's horse, and so the horse gets injured and can't get a message about the invasion coming in time, and a lot of stuff a long way down the change. Now the kingdom is fucked.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well...
yeah, so, don't force people to revive if they don't want to revive. The reason why the spell specifically says if the soul is willing is specifically for players who don't want to... Like, for players who, like... don't want to play their old character. Like
Yeah.
like that's why it's there. And also, don't tell people what their character would do.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like I said, how do you know? I'm him.
yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. I felt that was a good one to start with because, like, in World Disappear, we recently had a character end up getting got because of the player was bored and wanted to try a new character.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, combination of being bored and also being the charismatic face of a party is not great for her mental health.
yeah, it's but we worked out a decent sacrifice that worked far better than any. It worked out way better than we planned due to things that were beyond our control.
Yeah. All right. So, on to my first story.
Yes.
We have posted 15 days ago with 49 upvotes by user Imaginary Resolve 9. The tale of Biscuit Man, the murder hobo, who is infatuated with me, the DM.
Yep. This is part 3 of the series.
No, this is this is a completely different DM.
Oh, it's the same.
This is a completely
poster, right?
different story. It's a completely different story from anything else that we've read.
Oh, I thought this was the one that. I thought this was related to the.
No, this is not related to the player that played a lesbian.
Oh, okay. My mistake then.
Completely different person.
Yeah.
Now it does start with saying this is a part 1 of 2. Part 2 has not been posted yet.
But keep an eye out because once it is posted, we will be covering it.
Okay. Yeah. Quick bit of context. I'm the DM for my high school's D&D club, one of only 2, and I specifically DM for the more socially awkward members of the group and special ed's kids, mostly high to mid functioning. I do this because I think everyone can enjoy D&D, and that everyone deserves to have fun, as long as they aren't lowering everyone else's time. The guy I'm talking about, however, is not special ed because of a mental disability. Instead, he's special ed because he's blind in one eye and has severe dyslexia.
Oof, that's rough. I also have severe dyslexia.
Yeah. Right, so the tale I'm about to tell is about Biscuit Man the murder hobo, a guy who is not only a murder hobo, but he also tries to touch me, the DM, and does generally odd stuff like make homemade extra salty biscuits for me.
Gross. Ew. Ew. Gross.
He's also outright mean to other party members behind my back and treats every hole as a goal and every NPC as target practice.
Ugh.
The tale begins as session 0.
I can just smell this guy. Based on that description alone.
The tale begins as session 0 when I was helping 30-something people get their characters ready. Everyone's having a ball making their characters. Some people are cat people, bird people, and nary a human player in sight. Wonderful. One of these people, Biscuit Man, shows me his character sheet and asks me to approve of it. Personally, I don't really worry about approving things as a DM as long as you aren't actively trying to mess with me. It uses the shortened form of a slur that many people don't know is a slur.
Oof.
You know, GYP.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that means, like...
Yeah. As long as they aren't trying to actively fuck me over, I won't disapprove of their character. I read it a little and awe at his stats. All 20s across the board.
For a level 1?
Now, I let my players roll for their stats if they so choose, but the odds of getting all 20s is ludicrously low. If my math is correct, the odds are 1 in 3.2 million. I asked him how he got all 20s, and he just said that... And he said that he is just that lucky, I guess. I tell him to reroll, and tell him that the odds are just too low for that to happen, and you'll end up carrying the party.
Also,
I'm aware that I could have handled this better.
Also, if you're doing 4d6 drop the lowest, then that is literally impossible since the most you can get is 18. Like with the basic rolling rules, the most you can roll is an 18.
I think my other party or my other D&D group, I think we usually do roll 5, drop the lowest 2.
Well, I do roll 4, drop the lowest 1.
I'm aware I could have handled this better, but oh god damn it!
What?
I'm getting called out of my room.
All right.
Ah.
All right. I will pause the recording until you're back. Welcome back.
Okay.
Where were we?
I tell him to reroll, and tell him that the odds are just too low for that to happen, and you'll end up carrying the party. I'm aware I could have handled this better, but he did reroll, now at the highest stat of 15 and the lowest of 9. He then proceeded to follow me around the library, watching every and anything I did, and even tried to grab my shoulder when I was with the same person for any period of time. The entire time, he didn't say a word. This should have prepared me for what was to come, but I was too naive to see that this was more than being socially awkward.
Yeah, that's definitely a little more than social awkwardness.
Yeah. Session 1 began rather interestingly, and as I've set up a world where my party is part of a mercenaries guild, and they're hired by the Dwarf King to do a mission that, should they succeed, could potentially stop this guy from ruining the world. It's a pretty basic MacGuffin quest. I tried to make it a little bit short so that we can finish before the end of the year. Right off the bat, Biscuit Man attempts to burn down their guild building because the guild leader told him that stealing other people's stuff from their rooms will get him kicked out of the guild. And by the way, he's trying to do all this stuff within the first 10 minutes.
I would just kick him from the table, like, immediately if that's how you're gonna act.
Yeah, but remember, this is a school thing.
That's fair.
Okay, well, the party tells him to stop doing what he's doing, and he does for a little while. That is, until I did the oh-so-terrible thing of going to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and apparently while I was gone, he freaked out, flipped the table, called everyone in the party pansies for not wanting to kill people, and then walked out. Okay, well, I kind of went into this campaign expecting something similar to happen, just because a lot of people who were my players were very much not used to doing social interaction. So I was like, okay, he needs a minute to calm down. We'll try again next session for him. I asked the rest of my party, hey, can we try this guy again? I think he was just overwhelmed and not used to this, role-playing not being a video game. And they all agreed. The session continues on, and my players get to the Kingdom of the Dwarves, which is just standard steampunk mountain kingdom, and the session ends with them renting out a hotel room. Everyone had a good time, and a few players even found out that the world that I made has little axolotl people, and they started to escort an axolotl child back home after they found them in the desert.
Fuck yeah, I love axolotls.
Yeah. Session 2 begins with Biscuit Man's return. He apologizes for his behavior last session, though no one lets him super close to the table now, and we pick up where we left off. His first instinct is to try to skewer the axolotl child.
Why?
Obviously. Well, one of my players, a Dragonborn, rolls to intervene and succeeds, preventing Biscuit Man from skewering the axolotl child. Well, this causes Biscuit Man to get huffy, and when I say huffy, I mean calls them a slur, specifically one regarding sexual orientation in men, in a group full of LGBTQ+ people. Needless to say, this did not go over well, and he was forced to apologize. Okay, this is the second time where I should have been able to see the signs, but I didn't because I'm a naive dumbass. It is at this point that my party decides to continue on and go to the Dwarf King's castle to find out that he is a Dragonborn. Well, Biscuit Man's first instinct is to try to steal the king's carpeting, which is made from dragon scales. The minute he says it, I explain to him, you're not going to be able to do that without getting caught. It is at this point that the rest of the party tells him to stop being a murder hobo. It is at that moment that my respect for my party members grew to a massive level. Most of the session was spent preparing for the long journey to the west to go to a mountain, and Biscuit Man being locked in jail overnight for trying to steal from the Dwarven King.
I was just about to say, just throw his character in jail.
He then doesn't show up for the next 3 sessions, and everyone has a great time meeting the other dragon clans. I decided it'd be interesting to have different types of dragons based on other less talked about cultures with dragons in their mythology rather than based on color, as the old dragons are extinct. During this entire time, Biscuit Man was trying to play footsie with me.
Ew.
In actuality, he was just kicking my shin. This is how Session 2 ends, and this is only the beginning of Biscuit Man's downward spiral. It's all downhill from here.
Gross. Is that where it leaves for part 2?
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll definitely keep an eye out. So, luckily, I haven't had to deal with overt murder hobos. But the question I've always wanted to ask, like, a straight-up murder hobo is, like, why? Why do you want to do this? And just keep asking why until they don't have an answer, or until the answer is like, I don't know, I'm bored. And so I can be like, well, if you're bored with this style of gameplay, then go leave and play Skyrim, where you can do that without ruining other people's fun.
Yeah.
You know? Your fun should not come at the expense of others people's funds.
Agreed.
Also, I would not eat the biscuits. My first thought was to question why they were so salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably nutted in them.
Yeah, I would not eat those biscuits at all.
I mean, it also could just be that he didn't know how much salt to put in, but I'd say to err on the side of caution.
Yeah. Anywho, so I guess the lessons we learned from here is, don't be an asshole and don't be a creep.
Mm-hmm.
But more specifically, don't tell people what their character would do, because you're not them or their character. And also,
don't be a murder hobo.
Yeah, don't be a goddamn murder hobo.
And also, please do not try to play footsie with your DM or any other player at the table.
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Even if they're your partner, don't.
Yeah, it's about where and when, and it's got to be like mutual. Preferably like when you're eating like when you're like watching a movie on the couch together and it's just y'all like yeah, or like having like somewhere in private, because you know the other people don't consent to like being around your poor attempts at flirting, which ends up just being kicking it. The OP should just fill their pants with straw.
Yeah.
You know, like the old Celtic shin kicking tradition. You know what I'm talking about?
Not really.
Oh, in either
I do
Scotland, Ireland, there's this one place where it's like a tradition to have shin kicking contests, and you're allowed to like stuff it with straw, but you can't like put metal plating or wear gold or wear steel-toed boots or anything. You know, it's about the sport, you know.
Yeah.
Anywho, I think that's where
sport.
I think that's where we're gonna wrap up this one.
Yeah.
So, thank everybody for watching. We do have other stuff on the channel. Biddy, what did you play?
I've just recently It's not out yet, is it?
It's not, but you did.
Right, this is going up today.
Yeah, we had a 4-hour episode of Metroid Prime.
Yeah, 4-hour episode of Metroid Prime just went up
that
yesterday.
Was my
so...
B. I completely miscalculated a lot of things.
Yeah. Also, there was a glitch in the final boss fight.
Yeah, so go see that. Go see that. It's up now. I am playing Sonic 06. I'm having a blast. Scraps is playing Cult of the Lamb, Bishops of the Old Faith.
Yeah.
And on Tabletop Thursdays, we played Clue.
Yeah. And also, don't forget to check out our D&D campaigns.
Yes, World of Tapir, the one I mentioned, as well as the campaign Curse of Strahd being run by our friend Chokvi.
Who, nearly every session says that, this might be the last, basically.
And only last session did it actually seem like it could be true.
Yep.
Anywho, comment challenge of the day. What is the worst freak out you've seen at a table? I haven't seen any freakouts at my table, so.
Yeah. Me neither. I guess just tales of people flipping entire tables, I guess.
That's fair. The Zelda server I'm in is doing, like, notifications and that, so I'm just marking the entire server as red and not even jumping in because, you know, it's probably spoilers. I'm not risking it.
Probably.
Anywho, with that out of the way, there's nothing left to say but good night, everybody.
Goodbye.